In this new lesson about bonsai for Blender, we're going to see some more ways to import and work on references. So in the previous lesson here that I'm going to open, we worked with an image. So remember that the most important thing is to open the IFC file because that is going to contain the IFC work that you've done. But you can see here that I only have the smaller image because this is the only IFC element that I have saved in my previous work. So to take the image that I have also resized in the previous video, I need to go and select also and open the Blender file like this. So you can see here I have the only wall that I created and the original image and also the resized image. Now we got this file from free SVG website, which is also covered in another video guide in the channel. So here we can download now the SVG or scalable vector graphics. In the previous video, instead, we used a raster image made of pixels. Now the advantage in using as SVG, so scalable vector graphics, rather than the pixel images or raster images is that we can use layers and we can use the snap. So I'm just going to create a new folder here. I'm going to call this vector graphics, and we're going to see how we can work with this type of graphics, essentially, which are made of vectors and can be scalable, and they are usually with a higher quality. Also, they are heavier than the image, but with a higher quality and with higher possibilities. So I'm going to go here and just create a new, as you see here, I created a new file, and then I'm going to import. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and you need to look for the simple scalable vector graphics option, not the grease pencil. So not import SVG as grease pencil, but just the simple scalable vector graphics SVG. And then just go into the folder where you saved the file and get it from there. So all we need to do is then select the file. We don't have any other option here, just import. And so probably, since this is a graphics, it's not intended for specifically for architecture, we probably need to be resized, rescaled, just like we did with the image. Now everything is kind of black and dark because this is fill. Everything was filled up. Like in vector graphics, you have the stroke and then the fill inside. So we can remove the fill. I'm going to show you how to do that, but you should know it if you already know Blender. And if you don't know Blender, just check the Blender video course. So I'm going to use the same wall as a reference that I used in the previous lesson when we used the image. And you can see, first of all, in the outliner that here we have a lot of curves. So you can select each single element and we can use it to model inside Blender. So that's the first advantage if we compare it to the standard raster image or pixel image. And of course, we can see also the annotation clearly. We can see all the lines clearly. We will not lose quality. We will not be approximate. We will be more accurate in getting those measures and getting those models from 2D to 3D. And thanks to the, so I can take the table, for example, that I can extrude it. I can create the table, I can create the chairs. Now, some of these are a bit too heavy because they have a lot of wireframe inside. So you probably want to clean up everything, but I'm just going to go forward here just to show you that these are all like, we can consider them like layers in AutoCAD or other CAD application. We can join them together, we can divide them, we can edit them, and so on. So I'm going to go to the layout here in the Blender interface. And here I can check the measures of that element. So if I don't have an annotation, a dimension, I can see here how big is that. And you can see that this is telling me now that this epsilon value, so like the width of this, it's 0.4 meters. But here it says that it's 3.55 meters. So there's something that is not going right. So this one here is supposed to be, the epsilon value is supposed to be 3.55. So it's supposed to be as big as this, as long as this. and it's not. So let me measure this, and you can see now that this measures, well, approximately 3.55 if we round that number up. So that's the correct size. Every time you put a reference and before you even start working, the most important thing is to check on the measures, check if everything is correct. It's fine. Otherwise, you need to resize. That's a really important passage. This is why we are dedicating more than one video guide to this, to the references and everything. Now, if I select everything here, I can also double click on the collection here in the outliner. Now I am in the layout interface. So I can also right click and I can change the color. I can select all objects from there. I can change the name of this collection, which was automatically created in the moment that I imported the SVG. Right click to select all objects inside that collection, or again, double click. So I need to scale them all at once, like this. So I can use the S key to scale. I can use the scale tool, clicking within the white circle there. But that's not going to help me to put a precise reference. So we need, again, a reference. So if I change that size of that wall to 3.55, on the top here I have dimension, and on the top I have scale. Now that's the scale factor I need to scale everything to the correct size. So I can copy that value in there on the epsilons. I can do Control C, and then I can paste it later with Control V. So Control C to paste that value, and then we need to group everything together, because we cannot like scale like this. So if I apply now the scale, so if I change here, you can see I resized, but the scale here, it's different. So if I put that Control V, Control V, Control V, that the factor that I've selected, you can see it's only working on one element. There you go. So that's now the wall to its correct size, but we need to do it for everything. So you either join everything together with Control J, or you need to, if you want to maintain the division of the layer, we need an empty object. So this is the join, by the way, and it's not even working really fine. So something is missing there, something is not working. So again, try to clean up your file before doing that. But the other option, which is better, is to create an empty object with the axis here gizmo. So we can see the axis right there. And we can put this in another position if we want. Let's put it there in the corner of the wall. So that's going to be our pivot for all the transformations we're going to do. And now if I go here again in outliner, if I go all the way down, I can find the null object all the way at the bottom, because we are working in this collection. This is the active collection right now, the collection we are working in. And then we're going to all the way down to see the null object. Now, again, if you're having problems with these passages, you may want to study more Blender before, so you can check the Blender 5 video course. Also check the previous lessons, because we already talk about really important stuff in Blender. And that's another important topic in Blender. The null object, or the empty object, is a group basically. So I can take all of these curves, which are really a lot, and well, definitely clean these up, because it's going to get too heavy. So, but right now I'm just going to click and drag. Once I selected all of those with the Shift key, I click and drag, and I drop everything. Well, sorry, not drop, but just select the pivot as last, or make sure that that is the active object. And then you can do Control P, which is basically setting a parent and children. So you can also do this from the Audio menu, parent, object, so Control P, and then make sure that down here we have the keep transform. There we go. So what we created now is a relation between all the curves and the empty object, which basically becomes a group, becomes a container for everything. So we are working on the hierarchy here. We just put those, large amount of curves into the null object. So now when we scale the null object or the container, that's going to affect all the curves that are stored within that.